We have 8 new communities in the works, and I want to share a little bit of the highlights of those. These are like my children, so I love them all. There's boards around, and I think folks that are watching online can see the pictures of them as well. The first community that we just opened is Laurel Creek on North Lamar. Phenomenal location on a transit corridor that'll always be there. We built a huge new learning center, which you'll hear a bit about in a minute. And there's a child care center with open door preschool on the first floor. There's space for a visiting nurse. There's a food pantry. We're really grateful to be open. The second community is our Juniper Creek Apartments is right next to Laurel Creek. It's basically a phase 2. We're going to add 110 more apartments to serve more families. It's great because we don't have to build a new learning center. We've got a huge community center there already. So far, we've raised $13.3 million from the county. The city council last week approved some funding, and Austin FC Soccer Club. We're just a mile down the road from the stadium, and so their contribution is going into that project. The third project I'll talk about is our Loretta Apartments, which is, I can see it out the window. It's going to be 137 apartments for families with kids. There's 14 apartments as a preference for families with children that have been homeless to support them. Also, we don't have to build a new learning center because we have this facility right here for kids to be able to walk back and forth. It's also really transit connected with the park and ride, the bus, and the train station right there. And then when we're done today, we're gonna have a construction tour, and if you're watching online, there'll be a virtual tour. So grab a hard hat and come see it. Also under construction is Zilker Studios. It's on South Lamar. It'll be 110 efficiency apartments for single adults, many of whom have been homeless. We have some apartments for veterans that are homeless. An amazing location to be that close to downtown. It should be done with construction at the end of the year, and I think it's going to lease very, very quickly. Our fifth project, a year or so ago, the mayor challenged me and called me and said, "Walter, you need to buy some more hotels. Come on." And you're right. I think my pushback was, well, we got to find the right hotel, something that's got suites with kitchens and baths, something we can renovate relatively quickly and get operational. We found a building, the Town Place Suites by Marriott, which is near the Arboretum. It used to be by the old North by Northwest restaurant that closed. Fenced and boarded up now, but we start construction July 5th. And so we can get those apartments. There'll be 123 apartments open by the end of the year. Feel very blessed. We have an anonymous donor couple in town that have a very real heart for serving the homeless in many different ways. They attend church right around the corner from Balcones, and they made $1 million gift this week to help us get it open. So thank you, Mayor, for pushing us. Our sixth project, Parker Lane, breaks ground this summer. It's on 8 acres of land, South Austin, kind of Old Torf, Riverside area. It used to be the site of the Parker Lane United Methodist Church. We're really excited about partnering with the church. This was a small but mighty congregation. They were very involved in immigration work. They had offices for pro bono attorneys there, Meals on Wheels, youth programs, and they came to us and said, we want to do something. They closed, but they wanted to do something really positive with the land for the community. It was an interesting negotiation because, there was a ground lease. We are paying them for the site, but they also required that we make space for volunteers from the church in the food pantry, the after-school program, the visiting nurses, and the immigration work. And we were like, sure, that sounds great. It'll be 135 apartments. We're building a big learning center there, as well as a food pantry and a little health center. We still need donor support and a name on that learning center, so that's a funding opportunity. And then, not ready to break ground yet, maybe a year or two down the road, but we have land in Northeast Austin to build the Norman Crossing Apartments. The city owns this land and selected us as their partner. It's right across the street from Norman Elementary School, which is, we love being able to kids walk across the street and they're at school. It'll be about 160 apartments and have a small learning center. And then, last but not least, we're a year or so away from breaking ground on Burleson Village. This is going to be 100 supportive housing apartments for single adults with mobile loaves and fishes on 76 acres of land in East Austin on Burleson Road. I'm really excited about partnering with Mobile Lowe's. We work together a lot already, and so we're going to build 100 apartments on Burleson, and they'll have about 600 tiny homes, and then we'll be able to share programs and services and work really closely together. The architects have finished schematic design, so we've got pretty pictures. Now we just got to raise the money and get the permits and break ground. So in total, those are my kids. We have 8 new communities, almost 1,000 apartments, about 2,200 residents. And this is an unprecedented opportunity for us to serve more folks in Austin.